Hey guys, welcome to the review of one of my favorite sets of all time, the UCS Venator. It is set 75367, rated for 18 and up, and it has 5,374 pieces. And fun fact, if you remove the 3 from the set number, 7567 is actually Captain Rex's CT number, which is a nice Easter egg. I am so excited to review this, you have no idea. Would I consider this better than the Star Destroyer? Probably not. However, I still really like this one. I think this one is my third favorite of all time. The other two being the Star Destroyer and then the AT-AT being my most favorite. But yeah, without any further delay, let's get on to the review of the UCS Venator. Starting off with the figures, you get 2 in the set, Admiral Yularen and Captain Rex. Admiral Yularen is 100% exclusive to the set. He looks great. He has these awesome dual-molded legs. His rank insignia is perfect, and overall has really nice printing as well as a great-looking face print. Here's the back of the figure, and he also has a separate-looking face. Also, for fun, here's him compared to the older version of Yularen, which we see in Rebels. This was a May 4th promo we saw in, I believe it was either 2013 or 14. Now, the second figure you get in the set is Captain Rex, and obviously LEGO Star Wars fans cannot live without a prequel set and not stir up some controversy. The figure itself looks great, honestly. Like, I have no real issues with it other than the printed waist cape. Like, honestly, maybe they could have tried to do side leg printing just to see how that works out, but really, I am really tired of these printed waist capes. But I think the rest of the figure looks great. I love the torso printing. The arm printing is absolutely fantastic. The pauldron is kind of big, but I don't really have too much of a problem with it. It's more of like a stylized design. The helmet looks great. The helmet holes, obviously, you already know my stance on those. And he even has a special face print. Finally, here's the back. So why is this guy so controversial? Well, in a nutshell, LEGO claimed in the instruction manual that both him and Yularen were exclusive to the set. And so in 2024, they decided to release the same figure in the $13 Captain Rex's Microfighter. The controversy is that LEGO quote-unquote lied about the exclusivity of Rex so they can push Venator sales when they were going to release this little guy a year later. Now, I don't want to go too in-depth right now because later this year, I'm releasing a video talking about the insanity that is the LEGO Star Wars community. And in that video, I'm going to be talking about all the controversies about the Venator and the gunship, X, Y, and Z, you know the drill. And I will be going more in depth about this controversy, but all I'm going to say is that there is just so much wrong with that statement. Also about how Rex is only going to be in the Venator. I just need to make a full video about it, and I don't want to take up the time in this video. I'm just happy that investors are crying about this figure no longer being exclusive, and I'm happy that kids are now able to get this figure at a cheaper price.
And those who assumed that Rex is going to stay exclusive to the Venator, regardless of the arm print or not, that was a false statement.
Because there's no way that this great-looking Rex is going to stay exclusive, even if he wasn't the same Rex. It wasn't going to matter. There's no way that he was going to stay exclusive to the set, Rex in general.
But all of that is going to be saved for my community video coming later this year. So when it comes out, make sure you go watch it for the full in-depth analysis of this BS controversy. So overall, I'm really happy with how these figures were executed. Aside from the printed waistcape, they look fantastic. And actually, I do believe that this figure of Rex is much better than the original from 2013. But with that being said, let's get to the real reason why everyone except for the investors are here. The build of the UCS Venator. Also, literally as I was about to do the build, my friend came over because we're doing a trade and he gave me the sand crawler, which I'm going to do a review on after the Venator, or maybe after the Falcon. Alright, the first thing we're going to be taking a look at is the stand, which I slightly modified to have the figures on both sides instead of just the one side. Alright, so here's the plaque. We have the Star Wars logo there, we have a picture of the Venator there, we have the name Venator class Star Destroyer, and all the information. You can pause if you want to read that. And also included is this exclusive 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars brick. You can only find it in the UCS Venator. But with all of that out of the way, let's get to the real reason why everyone except for the investors are here for. The one and only UCS Venator. This thing is a beast. Comparing it to the midi-scale Acclimator, it is like night and day. Now, I do want to address something right now just so we can get it over with. This isn't your normal style of Venator from Revenge of the Sith. This is actually a Clone Wars exclusive Venator. It is the flagship Venator that Anakin Skywalker and General Yularen are on. What makes this a flagship Venator is the break in the stripe right here. The traditional Venator from Revenge of the Sith would have the stripe going all the way down. Instead, it breaks right here and here. And then the bridges are actually red instead of gray. Now, to me, I actually prefer this design. I used to prefer the older design. However, this design I think is much better for the UCS format just because the bridges pop a lot more than if it was gray. Now, of course, these pieces do exist in gray, so you can modify it if you want, but I have seen modifications making them gray, and honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of it being gray. I much prefer it red. And do I even have to mention that LEGO Star Wars fans hated this decision? Now, let's take a closer look at the UCS Venator. I think I've been talking enough. Starting at the front here, we have some very nice detailing with some grill pieces and some hinge pieces, making up a very, very nice rounded shape for the front of the Venator. Now, moving down the side of the Venator, we have some very nice detailing with greebling, and we also have a little bit of blue integrated to make up like hanger bays. It looks absolutely great. Right here, we have two giant turrets that can fall off a little bit easily, and they also cannot move up and down nor left and right. We have some more good detailing going down the Venator, and right here we have one Easter egg referencing the UCS gunship. While I do appreciate the inclusion, I do think the micro gunship kind of looks like an A-wing. However, the hangar bay door being open is a very nice touch. Also, the angle right here just looks great. I'm very impressed on how they were able to make this angle look so good. Here are the back engines. They look absolutely fantastic. Here's a closer look at them. They just look fantastic. I really like how they weren't sagging as much as I thought they would. However, this one is a bit saggy still. I think that's just because of how far away it is compared to the others. Here's the first of the 6 stickers in the set. They're actually the same on both sides, and I will say this is the best of the 6 stickers. I will be mentioning that later. I really like the detailing they were able to get, and overall, I do think it makes the design better. Here's the other side of the Venator. It is almost completely the same, other than the hangar door being closed. Looking at the top of the Venator, I'm very surprised on how they were able to layer it in a way. It's not just flat, it has some level to it. Here's also a better look at the stripe I mentioned earlier. We'll get back to these in just a second. Here's a good look at the turrets that you can actually turn, and then these also can go up and down. We also have some very good striping right here, and both sides are the same. Now, coming back to these stickers, while I do think they look good graphically, I think the designs of them look great, the Republic logo looks good, I still to this day cannot stand how the renders make it look like these two grays match up, when in reality, they do not match up in the slightest. And let us be clear, I am not a sticker hater. I'm not one of those guys who hates on stickers just for no reason. While I would have preferred prints, I am not one of those people who just absolutely hate stickers, unless it's on a 1x1 tile. How would I have fixed this? Well, first of all, I would have done prints, obviously. Second of all, I would have done clearback stickers. The UCS gunship has clearback stickers. I don't know why they didn't do that for this set. And the reason why that sticker back there is much better than these ones is just because it's not as visible. It's not as distracting as these ones. And I'm not one of those YouTubers who makes boneless complaints like this not being a Revenge of the Sith Venator, nor the Captain Rex being exclusive or not exclusive. I'm not one of those YouTubers, but I genuinely am not a fan of this design, nor how it is advertised. Let's also ignore that the $50 MIDI scale acclimator has prints that look so much better than the $650 UCS Venator made for premium collectors like myself. And saying that out loud just made me sound like such a loser and like a hypocrite. Getting back on a more positive note, we have some great detailing going up towards the bridge. We have some nice blue integration there. And we have some pretty nice looking angles going down this way as well. Here are the two bridges. They look fantastic. I really like how they were able to integrate this building technique here. It just looks absolutely amazing. And like I said earlier, you are able to find all of these pieces, or at least most of them, in the gray color. So you are able to recolor the bridges if you're not a fan of the Revenge of the Sith design. I personally think it just pops a lot more, and I just personally prefer this design. Finally, here's a picture of what the bottom looks like. It's very detailed, very studded, I will say. However, I really like how they were able to integrate hanger bays as well as a rail piece. It looks fantastic. Also, here's a good look at what both of these stands look like. Now, I want to save this for my community video, but one of the big complaints about this Venator, as well as the UCS Star Destroyer, is that they don't have interiors. Now, I'm going to go much more in depth with this topic in my community video. However, I will say there is no way that there's going to be an interior on this set unless you want to look like the Hulkbuster. Now, before the closing notes, here's a quick little comparison between the $50 acclimator and the Advent Calendar Venator. And yeah, it is like night and day. Like I said earlier, these things are just tiny in comparison. But yeah, let's get on to the closing notes of the UCS Venator. Now, if you couldn't tell, I absolutely love the UCS Venator. Garbage Captain Rex drama aside, as well as the stupid complaint that there's no interior, nor that this is a Clone Wars Venator rather than a Revenge of the Sith Venator, this is a fantastic set. Once again, all of that drama and hypocrisy I will be covering in my community video coming later this year. Now, one thing I really like to do when displaying it is put the Captain Rex Y-Wing Microfighter on top of it, just because I think it makes the set pop a lot more. I'm giving this set a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I have to say is that the stickers just aren't as good as they are advertised, and I don't like how the grades just don't match up. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!